Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream, and welcome back to the home of the world champions. Apologies, I'm a little bit late, guys, but we are here and we're back and we're ready for another show and another week of Chelsea transfer news. Big up to every single one of you that's already locked in. Make sure you smash up the likes, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, get involved in the chat. Today's show packed as always, people. We have got the latest on Marc Guehi, with apparently Chelsea have re-entered talks with Marc Guehi's agent over a potential move. Let's wait and see what happens with that. We've got all the latest on loans to Strasbourg as well. Mamadou Sarr has returned to Strasbourg on loan. Mike Penders is set to finalise his move to the French club. And Kendry Paez is going to be the third loanee as well, going to Strasbourg. So we've got plenty to talk about. Also the latest on Xavi Simons as well, with his asking price being revealed by Florian Plettenberg over at Sky Germany. So we've got centre-backs, we've got Xavi Simons, and we've got loads of other stuff to discuss. But first things first, as a reminder, as always, chat, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Make sure you're looking fresh for next season in the Chelsea home or away shirt. Third strip when it's available as well. Get the badge in, guys, as well. Great quality, affordable prices, names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link in the description. Code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Make sure you check it out. Right, that's enough about that. Let's say hello to a few of you lot in the chat, and then we'll get things popping. Here we go again, Guehi. Well, let's wait and see. If we can get for Guehi for 50, I'd take that. So would I. Big up. Yes, big up. Guehi should be a priority signing, just like Hato. I hear it. Liverpool buying another player this time for 80 million, but no one says a word. Yeah, bro, I hear you. There's double standards when it comes to reporting transfers, you know, with Liverpool compared to other clubs. It's this idea that Liverpool don't spend money is nonsense. Yeah, the Coutinho money still going. Mad, isn't it? No, bro, Guehi's good. Now, is this likely to happen? I've got absolutely no idea, but it's all gone very quiet regarding Marc Guehi. Why is Sarr's face scared? I thought that was scarred or scared. Is it scarred? I've got no idea. Yes, big up, brother. Yes, we're here. Big up. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. No, thank you. Yes, big up. And how you doing, brother? You good? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you boys can come back up. So I enjoy going to the King Power. It's a great away day. 100% get Guehi. No news on a goalkeeper. Guehi partnership with Colwell will be mustered in the league. Yeah, or with Chalobah or with Fofana. Good options. I would look, if you could have a goalkeeper or a centre back, I'm having a goalkeeper all day long. A better goalkeeper is gonna be much more beneficial to this team than getting a new centre-back. Yeah, the Dalglish money as well. Or maybe it's that Michael Owen money or the Robbie Fowler money that still hasn't run out. Who knows? Are you happy that Guehi's linked with us? Yeah, look, I'm a big Marc Guehi fan, as people in the chat know. Bro, Guehi's not bang average. Let's not do this. Yeah, that's the most important, 100%. Superstar signing, bro. Unfortunately, we're not really going to do a superstar signing. We're not going to do a superstar signing. But I mean, look, I'd love a Rodrigo on the left-hand side, for example, but that's not gonna happen. Yeah, mate, I went to the Mega Store. Yeah, it's £7 to get it on the shirt. Yeah, and they'll print it on for you in there. Yeah, I mean, look, this might be one that we revisit. Obviously, Maresca knows Hermansen very well. Brought him over to Leicester when he was there. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm hearing links with Hermansen and West Ham. Chelsea have had interest in Hermansen, but I don't know if that interest is still there. Is that interested at the club? I've got no idea. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that it's not really a deal that we seem to be doing. I mean, I think it's pretty set, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, mate, but I think it's pretty set that he's going to leave Leicester this summer. So I'm surprised that someone bigger than West Ham, for example, aren't really taking a little look. Look, Rodgers would be a big signing, but Morgan Rodgers is not like a superstar right now. But look, certainly, yeah, for sure. It would be a good signing, no doubt about it. Yep, you heard. Smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Look, there's not an outstanding... Look, the centre-back market is not great. And if Chelsea are looking for another centre-back, I don't think we need... I don't necessarily think we need another centre-back. But let's get into this centre-back stuff then. Let's start with the Mamadou Sarr stuff, because obviously, you know, we know where we signed Mamadou Sarr. We got him from Strasbourg in January. He played. I think he played once in the Club World Cup. But I presume the plan was to always send him back. I think that must have always been the plan. So this isn't really taking up an additional loan spot, chat. So Chelsea agreed deal to sign Mamadou Sarr on loan. The defender's back at the club after signing 8-year contract at Chelsea. Sarr returns to Strasbourg on loan as key part of Rossinia's plans for the upcoming season. Now, for me, this was always going to be the case. And I think the reason why we signed Sarr was, one, because of his potential and how good he can become, but also, secondly, to get him at a decent price before his price increases and before other clubs potentially become interested in his services. So we're almost getting ahead of the game, as it were, with Mamadou Sarr. I'm happy this has happened. He is obviously a top talent at centre-back from those that have watched him at Strasbourg in the past. But this move back there, I think, is going to be absolutely crucial for his development. You know, he's got continuity. He's going to an environment that he knows inside out. He's going to play regular football. He's going to play in the Conference League. He'll probably have a bigger leadership role in that Strasbourg squad next season. He played a lot for them last season. He's going to be the main guy in the heart of the defence. And it'll be... And I think that's going to be really good, because Sarr wasn't going to get the minutes he wanted at Chelsea or needed. But it's going to be interesting now, because does that mean we're going to go in for another centre-back? Should we go in for another centre-back? Because if you look at the centre-backs that Chelsea have got, you've got Colwell, Fofana, Chalobah, Badiashile, and Tosin. Those are the 5 that we've got at the moment. So those are the 5 centre-backs. You've got Anselmino as well. He's going to go on loan somewhere. So you've got 5 or 6... you've got 5 main centre-backs on the books there. Okay. I'm not sure we sign another centre-back, to be honest, chat. Badiashile always escapes transfer windows. When he gets injured, then suddenly fit when the window's closed. Badiashile, I think, is a part of the plans. No, you definitely can't do that. Yeah, run up the likes, chat. Sarr, like Igachukwu, like Paez, like Anselmino, will never be at Chelsea again. Money is important for sales. No, I don't see that. Look, we get it. We know that not all these players are going to play for Chelsea. We know that, chap. We're not stupid. We know what the model is. We know how it works. But I do generally think that Mamadou Sarr will have a career at Chelsea. But yeah, it might take 1 or 2 years for that to be established. You know, it might take 1 or 2 years. And I think this works out very well for us. You know, I'm reasonably happy with the back line. Go and get me a backup to Marc Cucurella. But I'm not sure we need another centre-back. You know, the only way we get another centre-back in my opinion, is if one leaves. Now, I think part of the reason we were potentially in for a centre-back was I think people expected Chalobah or maybe Tosin to move on, or certainly maybe Badiashile to move on. I'm not sure that any of those three are going to move on. So we then look at it and we're like, right, okay. Is there any point signing another centre-back, chat? I'm not really sure. You know, he's still only 19. He's still only 19. And this loan is so beneficial for him. You know, this was clearly the plan. It makes sense. He was never going to step into the first team. He's going to continue to develop. And consequently, as a result of his development and playing regularly at Strasbourg, whether we like it or not, his value is going to go up and it's going to increase. Now, sure, it's one less, loan spot. But you get 3 loans to Strasbourg. And if it's Penders, Paez, and Sarr, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good for the loans to Strasbourg, chat. I think that makes sense. I think that's that's something that I would 100% that I'm 100% on board with. Problem is though, O'Reilly is a midfield player who has played at fullback, but he's not an out and out fullback. And yeah, for sure, it makes perfect sense to send him back there. Makes perfect sense. He became a world champion. We signed him for 15 million euros in January. And now he's going back to Strasbourg. And he is a player, I do believe, has a future at Chelsea. He was brilliant last season for Strasbourg. It'll be good for them again. He's still 19 years of age. And this is going to be exciting, chat. And these are the 3 loans. Yeah, I don't mind Badiashile as a backup. Because let's be honest, he's 5th choice at Chelsea because Colwill, Fofana, Chalobah, and Tosin are all going to play ahead of him. So I don't mind if Badiashile wants to be a 5th choice centre back. I haven't got a problem with that. I've got no issue with that, chat. If Badiashile wants to stay and be a 5th choice centre back, it's all good. No problem, because I know that he's not playing ahead of Colwill, ahead of Fofana, ahead of Tosin, ahead of Chalobah. No issues for me. No issues for me on that one whatsoever. And so we look at our centre-back options. So we look at the players that are going out on loan, chat. And those 3, look, Aaron Anselmino to Strasbourg is off. I think a loan to the Championship would be great for him, or maybe another one of Europe's top 5 leagues if we can find something. If we can find that, then that would be great. Because if we don't loan out Anselmino again, then we've kind of just wasted a lot of his development. And you sort of think, well, what the fuck have we been playing at? What have we been playing at, chat? In regards to that, you need 5 centre backs. If you're playing a back 2, give me 5 centre backs. We've got 5 centre backs at the club. It just depends. Do you think you can improve on the current centre backs that you've got in the pool of 5? I'm not sure. The situation with Rodrigo is that he's not coming to Chelsea. That's what we can say. Please, let's sell. The Sassi's going. I don't think that Badiashile will go, but yeah, look, I wouldn't have an issue with them going. Bro, Simons, we're talking euros here. We're not talking pounds. We're not talking pounds on Simons there. We're talking euros. We need Guehi and Fofana. Fofana doesn't need to leave. We've got to bring... People have got different energy for different players. Wesley Fofana, when he's fit, is Chelsea's best centre-back. Look at the way that Maresca's managed Reece James post-injury, post-surgery. He's the fittest he's been in ages, and there's been no setbacks. Next season, let's hope that's the same for Fofana. He's earned the right, in my opinion, for another go, he's absolutely earned the right for another go. This is a player that we should absolutely be signing. Be giving another chance to. Sorry, this coming season. Of course, we should be giving another chance to him. People were prepared to stick with Reece James and whatnot, but when it comes to Fofana, it's like, oh no, we got to get rid of him. Get rid of him. Them standards. What we doing here, chat? Look, I love Trev, but Trev's not better than Fofana. Yeah, look, maybe there is something in that. Maybe there is something in that. I'm not disputing that, but in my opinion, Fofana should be having Bashir Humphries has gone to Swansea, I think it was, or Burnley. Fofana needs to be fit. There's no doubt about it. But he's top quality, and as far as I'm concerned, he deserves another opportunity next season. If he's injured again next season for large chunks of it, then we've got a conversation to have, because that would have been 3 seasons on the spin where this guy's barely been available, and then I hear it, and that's more than fair. But right now, for me, he deserves another opportunity. No doubt about it. No, Carney won't be going to Strasbourg. I absolutely agree, Johnny. He needs to find a way to remain fit. There's no point having a talent that he does and a quality that he has if he's not going to be fit. I absolutely hear you on that. And then there's also this point as well. This is a fair point here. People that are saying, oh, sell him, he's injured all the time. Who's going to buy a player with an injury record? Who are they going to buy with that injury record? This is what I'm saying, chat. This is what I'm saying. This shit is not really making sense, people. Not really making sense. Yeah, that was mad. No, I don't think he does need to go. Yeah, look, we need to go and get Jarrell Hayter or someone like that. We do. Fofana is our best centre-back. Look, if people disagree with me, that's fine. But I think it's pretty conclusive. When fit and everyone's playing at their best, Fofana is the best centre-back at Chelsea. Yeah, there were a few mistakes at the start of last season, but people seem to also forget the guy was coming off missing an entire season with an ACL injury. Of course he was going to be rusty when he came back. Fofana, in my opinion, is Chelsea's best centre-back. No, I haven't done it yet. Need to do it. Yeah, and that's fair. That's absolutely fair. We do need a new goalkeeper. I hear it. But look, these are the 3 loans that we've done to Strasbourg: Mamadou Sarr, Kendry Paez, Mike Penders. I think they're. Look, I think that's good. I think it makes sense. I think that's beneficial for all those players involved. And I'm very much looking forward. I mean, we know a bit about Sarr. I'm really excited to see what Kendry Paez and what Mike Penders do in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. I think it's very exciting, chap. I think it's really, really exciting in that regard. Really exciting. We've got a lot of young talent. We've got a lot of exciting players. The centre-back thing is really interesting because in my opinion, another centre-back's not coming in unless one of the current 5 are sold, as it were. Unless one of the current 5 are sold, no one else is coming in. I'm just unsure. I just really can't decide if we need another centre-back. The only way, in my opinion, the only way another centre-back coming in makes sense is if they're a starting quality centre-back. There's no point bringing in a squad option at centre-back, chat. There's no point bringing a squad option in. It's got to be someone who is going to go into that first team. That's what it has to be. And yeah, I don't see that coming in. Of course, we know Fofana's good. Like this idea, people's issue with Fofana isn't his ability as a footballer. People's issue with Fofana is the fact that he can't stay fit. That's people's issue with him. It's never a quality issue. It's never been a quality issue. By the way, the defence isn't that bad. We were the third best defence in the league last season. We defended very well in the club during the Club World Cup tournament. The defence isn't anywhere near as bad as we think it is. Look, Zabarnyi, I think, is going to go to Paris Saint-Germain. I know Tottenham are potentially interested as well, but we shouldn't really be too concerned about that. PSG want Zabarnyi. But again, Zabarnyi is a player of quality. Yeah, Warrior, I agree. I agree. Depends what you mean by statement signing. What sort of player would qualify as a statement signing? Bro, that's just not true. That just isn't true that Fofana's never put in a top performance for Chelsea. That just isn't true. Yeah, I don't know why people are getting so wound up by Fofana. You know, I'm fully aware that he needs to be fit this season. You know, I'm fully aware he needs to be fit this season. Fully aware. But the centre-back issue is very interesting, though. Badiashile staying good left centre-back option. Yeah, Colwell, Badiashile as your left centre-back options. Trev, Fofana, toss in as the right, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Trev is the ultimate professional. You know, he is the perfect example of the ultimate pro. What else is coming in the chat? I agree on that, and this for me is why I'm not that bothered on a new centre back coming, chat, because a new goalkeeper is far more important than a new centre back. I'm actually reasonably happy with our centre back options. I'm quite happy with them. I really am quite happy with our centre back options. A backup left back and a goalkeeper are way more important than another centre back. Way more important than another centre back. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. No, he should be fit for the start of the season. Except from Colwell, none of our centre backs are in their national team. Well, Chalobah's made his debut for England now. But yeah, no, look, then none of them are regulars in their national side. But that doesn't mean they're bad players, by the way. It doesn't mean they're bad players. It definitely does not mean that. But let's move away from that. Let's quickly talk Marc Guehi, and then we're going to move on to Xavi Simons. We'll quickly talk Marc Guehi, and then we're going to move on to Simons, people, because there's a bit more news on Xavi Simons. But the defense is very interesting. It always, I don't know, it always divides people's opinion. Always divides people's opinion. And I do think it's very, very interesting. But let's just quickly get into this Guehi stuff, chat, and then we'll move on to Xavi Simons and discuss, because again, both ends of the pitch divide opinion. Do we need another attacker? Do we need another centre back? Those are the questions that we need to be asking, guys. Those are the questions which we need to be asking. Let me just bring this Guehi stuff up. I mean, where did I see this? I definitely saw this Guehi stuff somewhere. Anyway, I won't bring it up on screen, but look, ultimately, apparently Chelsea have re-entered talks with Marc Guehi's agent. What's interesting, though, chat, is there was loads of talk about Guehi earlier this summer, but it's all gone very quiet. There was a lot with Chelsea, then there was Liverpool, and now there's nothing. Guehi doesn't look like he's going to be signing a new contract at Crystal Palace whatsoever. So I'm looking at it and I'm just sort of thinking, is this a deal that's going to maybe explode into life a little bit later on into the window? Is it going to go right to the end? The Palace hoping that he's going to sign a new deal? I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I would like him to come, but what it does beg the question is, who does he play ahead of? Because if Guehi comes, he's going to want to start. So is it Colwell and Guehi? Is it Fofana and Guehi? Or are you just having great strength in depth and really good options at the football club? You know, that's you look at the options we've got in attack. Maybe we want similar depth at centre back. You know, maybe we want that. And this is it, as Warrior says. Guehi, by the way, he fits the system perfectly. Can play in a 3 and can play in a 2. Comfortable back 3, comfortable back 2. Knows the Premier League inside out. Knows Chelsea kind of inside out as well. These are all very, very important things. Very important things. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'd be very surprised if Fofana left this summer. I personally don't see it, but again, chat, in football, you can never say never. Left centre-back needs to be upgraded more than right. I would agree on that. I think if you're looking at left centre-back, you probably need a better option than Badia Shil. I think you need a better option than Badia Shil. I think that's absolutely fair. I would tend to agree with this. I think Marc Guehi, Guehi goes straight in. I think Guehi goes into that. I think Marc Guehi goes straight into. I think he goes straight in. But we have to wait and see, guys. We have to wait and see. You'd go Guehi and Colwell. Murillo won't be leaving this summer. You know, there's an opportunity for Murillo next summer potentially. I think you can. I think we can. Maybe you go for him next summer. Maybe you leave it and you try and go for a Murillo next summer, or maybe Guehi will leave on a free next summer and you go for him on a free instead. You know, these are all questions that we don't really know the answer to. People saying Antonio Silva, I don't see that. I don't see that right now. Yeah, look, Chalobah and Tosin, Chalobah we know is great. Tosin's level has definitely gone up recently. Definitely gone up. Well, in fairness, if you look at when Guehi was sold back in 2021, he wasn't really playing at Chelsea. He wasn't going to get much of a look in. It wasn't a mistake to sell Guehi then. It really wasn't. It really wasn't a mistake to sell him. Don't see it. Going to be too expensive, probably. I think the Guehi source was Simon Phillips in terms of reopening talks with his agent, but I just couldn't find it on Twitter. Do you think we should go for another goalkeeper if Sanchez continues with his? No, but this is the thing, though. It's a massive if. I think we know that Sanchez is not going to continue that level, chat. I think we know that. Challenge, yes. I think we can challenge, yeah. It needs to be Jarell Hato. Outside of Jarell Hato, I don't really have any suggestions, unfortunately. Outside Jarell Hato, I don't really have any suggestions, chat. I've got no suggestions outside Jarell Hato. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting what we decide to do on that one. But, yeah, chat, keep smashing the likes. Run it up. Over 200 in the building now. We haven't even reached 100 likes yet. Less than 20 likes to get there. So smash that like button and please subscribe if you're new around here as well. Road to 20k is on and every new subscriber helps. So smash up those likes, get this up over 100 and subscribe if you're new around here. Veiga, I think, is going to go Atletico Madrid. I don't see Gusto going to Bayern. I mean, look, I'd love to get Morgan Rogers, but I think Xavi Simons is the much more attainable deal, the cheaper deal, and one that's obviously, a lot easier to do. I like him. I don't think he's reached anywhere near his potential at Chelsea. Injuries have caused a problem. There is a player there, but I can't really see him being anything other than 4th or 5th choice centre-back if he stays. Can't see him being anything other than 4th or 5th choice centre-back, chat. Again, Lewis Hall wanted to play regularly. No issue with that. But we're not going to get... No, Murillo, I don't think is going to leave Chelsea. Is going to leave Forest this summer. I personally don't see it. I mean, look, I've not really heard anyone say that before, but I don't know if there's a buyback option or what there is. But certainly, yeah, I mean, you could do worse. He's really improved as a player. I remember being at the Carabao Cup game against Wimbledon in the Poch season. Moreira started. He was awful, and he was subbed at half-time. I don't think we ever saw him again in a Chelsea shirt in the first team. He's definitely improved at Strasbourg. Maybe it could be a bit of an outside shout, a bit of a left field shout, but yeah, why not? Why not? I don't think so. I think it was Simon Phillips. I just couldn't find the tweet on it. I'm not sure. I just know that over the course of a 38-game season, he's going to cost us points and he's going to make mistakes. We know that those errors aren't going to disappear. We know that. Yeah, I think, for sure. I think there is a choice for further windows. But let's move away from centre-backs chat. But let's talk Xavi Simons. Because there's more news on Xavi Simons. Let me start with this from Romano on Instagram. Exclusive. Xavi Simons still plans to leave this summer with new movement soon. Bomb emoji and eyes. Situation expected to develop soon as player decision revealed here since made clear. He wants new chapter. 2 years left on his deal at Leipzig. Price tag can be under 70 million euros this summer, with talks to follow soon. Chelsea and Arsenal aware of the situation, both very interested as revealed last week. Bayern also keen since last year, but depends on budget as Luis Diaz is a priority. No negotiations with Barca despite reports. So we have that. And then we have this from Fabrizio on Twitter. New movements are expected soon with Xavi Simons. Situation is expected to develop. Price can be under 60 million with talks to follow. Chelsea and Arsenal are aware of the situation, both very interested. I think that this Xavi Simons thing, this is going to be one of them where I wouldn't even be surprised this week if we heard something concrete in regards to Simons. I really do think that because, again, Ali Barat, very close to with Beded Egbali. Basically his right-hand man, has played a role in Jackson and Caicedo going to Chelsea. Xavi Simons, for me, under £60 million, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Yes, we know that we'd probably prefer Morgan Rogers and Chelsea would prefer Rogers, but, chat, we've got to be realistic here. Xavi Simons is a top operator. He's a creative demon, and he's going to be way cheaper than Rogers, and he's actually realistically attainable. Let's be real on the Rogers thing. How many of us genuinely think Morgan Rogers is a realistic target this summer? For me, he's not realistic at all. For me, Morgan Rogers is not a realistic target this summer, chat. Yeah, Simons would fit in perfectly. Simons would fit in perfectly at Chelsea. No doubt in my mind about it. No doubt in my mind about it. And he's realistic to get as well. Sure, but Simons would easily fit into the wage structure. He won't be on an absolute fortune at Leverkusen. And we could easily increase his wages and he'd still be well within that structure. It would be massive. It would be massive. It would be absolutely massive. Bro, Simons would start on the left. He'd start ahead of Gittins on that left-hand side, in my opinion. Simons on that left. Because Simons has got, incredible work rate, both offensively and defensively. You start him on that left wing drifting in. You can also play as a 10 as well if needed. And he can play slightly deeper, sort of in central midfield, number 8 settings as well. He's perfect. He's absolutely perfect. Esteval will predominantly play on the right, I think. Esteval will predominantly play on the right. I don't think there's any doubt there. Well, Chelsea won't give him 175, no, but we'll be able to give him an increase in his wages and he'd still be within the structure. Bro, he started most games on the left-hand side last season. He can play both left and as an attacking midfielder and a little bit deeper than that as well. Simons is a left wing 10 hybrid. He can play on the left-hand side. Chat, with 227 in the building, haven't even reached 100 likes. Guys, what are we playing at here? What are we playing at here? Run those likes up, people. Get this to 100, 150 ASAP. Chat, let's get to work. Simons played most of his games on the right. On the left last season. Most of his games on the left last season. He played on the left. So there's no issue with him playing on the left. No issue whatsoever. So this for me makes more sense. This for me makes more sense than Rodgers. Simons is 22. I'd say we're ahead of Bayern, yes. Are we ahead of Arsenal? I don't know if we're ahead of Arsenal or not. I'd like to think that if it was Chelsea versus Arsenal for Xavi Simons, I'd like to suggest that we'd get the job done. I'd like to think that he'd pick us over them. World champions, the decent part of London. Yeah, I'd like to think it's a possibility. I really would. And the fee's not going to be outrageous either. Fee's not going to be bad, and the wages aren't going to be bad either. I mean, this is a deal that just makes perfect sense. Like, what is there not to like? Exactly. Could you imagine that? Pedro, Simons, Palmer, Delap. You've got Gittins. You've got Neto. You've got Esteval. Imagine this chat. Simons, Palmer, Delap, Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto, Esteval, Nicholas Jackson, that's 7. Maybe you go and get one. Like, those options in attack, guys, that's legit. I'm not saying we're going to go and win the league or anything like that, but that is legit. Those are serious. Those are serious options, chat. Serious options we've got. No fucking about. Those are big boy options at the top end of the pitch. Players that can change games just like that. Bro, Jackson will play down the middle. You know, Jackson will be a number 9 at Chelsea. He'll rotate with Delap, and maybe he'll rotate slightly with Joao Pedro as well. No, I don't think they have. Gyökeres will still end up going to Arsenal. It's just taking a lot longer than I think any of them would have wanted. Well, one, I don't think Jackson will leave. I don't think he'll go to United. I personally don't see that happening. Do you know what's mad, right? We're going to get back to this Simons thing quickly. Someone who was it that mentioned Moreira in the chat earlier? Guys, I'm going to come back to this Simons thing. Who was it that mentioned it earlier? Someone mentioned Moreira earlier in the chat, right? And then literally, we've just had a Romano tweet now on Moreira. Understand Strasbourg don't want to sell Moreira this summer, and only way would be a bid over 30 million euros. Atalanta and Premier League clubs are interested, but Strasbourg won't sell for 20 million euros reported fee. So there we go. There is interest in Moreira. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that Xavi Simons could be the guy. I think there's a good chance that Simons could be the guy for us. Bro, Nkunku's going to go. I know Nkunku done well at the Club World Cup, and Chelsea reportedly aren't in a rush to move him on. But he's going to want to be playing regularly with it being a World Cup year. He's going to want to be in that France squad. And he's not going to play regularly at Chelsea. The best we can offer him is a squad rotation role. The best we can offer is a squad rotation role. So I think he'll be gone. So Simons joined RB Leipzig on a permanent deal for 50 million euros. 50 million euros plus 30 million euros in add-ons. But all those add-ons are not going to be met whatsoever. So again, 65 million euros is going to be realistic, I think, for Simons. Yeah, he slaps one in against us in the Euro semi-final. Really good strike. Top goal. And this is the thing, chat. Simons has posted good numbers wherever he's been. He's posted good numbers wherever he's been, whether that's at whether that's at PSV, he come through at Barcelona, whether that's at PSV Eindhoven or RB Leipzig, the guy has produced good numbers. Simple as that. He's produced really good numbers for us. So yeah, you know, it's a move that makes sense, chap. It's a move that makes sense. And again, he was one of the main guys. He was one of the main guys at Leipzig as well. Him, Sesko, and Openda. The SOS, as it were. Let me have a quick look. Where was those numbers on Yeah, here we go. Look, in Kunku, yeah, it didn't really work out. But again, I think the injuries played a big part in that as well. Let me bring these up. Simons' numbers. Because these are good numbers, by the way. So, 19 goals and 8. So at PSV Eindhoven, which was a loan in the 22-23 season, 19 plus 8. What's that? 19 plus 10, 29. 27? 19 plus 8, 27, chat. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, 27. So 27 GA in 34 appearances at PSV Eindhoven. Banging. The following season at RB Leipzig, 19 GA in 32 appearances. Last season, 17 GA in 25 appearances. This is all in the league. Obviously, this doesn't involve Champions League or domestic cups or whatever. Those numbers are very, very impressive, chat. Those numbers are very, very impressive. You know, they really are. They really are impressive. Bro, you can't just dismiss someone, because it doesn't count because it was in Holland or because it was in the Bundesliga. How many players, particularly Holland, by the way, loads of players come over from the Dutch league and are brilliant in the Premier League. Really good. Luis Suarez came from Ajax. Gakpo's done well at Liverpool, coming from Holland. Dirk Kuyt back in the day came from Holland. The Dutch league has produced a lot of good players that have gone on to do very, very well in the Premier League. Jurrien Timber, another example. Who else has there been in the Dutch that's come over from Holland in recent times? Arjen Robben came from PSV Eindhoven back in the day. Let's not do this thing where we're dismissive of other leagues, because we buy most of our players from other leagues. So why are we shitting on the Bundesliga and why are we shitting on the Eredivisie? Why? You know, yes, okay, they're not as competitive and they're probably not as strong as the Premier League, for example. But there's very, very good players in those leagues, as demonstrated by the amount of players that come out of there. Simons will play regularly at Chelsea. Simons will get a lot of games at Chelsea in a World Cup year. He will play a lot. Belarus, KB9. He was number 9 at Chelsea. Mental, innit? Khalid Belarus. What a guy! What a guy, chat. Who remembers him? But honestly, if Simons comes, by the way, he starts on the left. He for me, he starts on the left hand side, chat. That's the way that I see it. I think he starts on the left personally, and exactly Simons can play multiple positions as well. Look, Lukeba, I don't think it's going to leave that Leipzig in the summer. I don't think so. Yeah, I agree. Simons would start, and these numbers in the league are very, very impressive. By the way, very impressive. Now, I'm not saying that he'd come in and instantly those numbers would be hit in the Premier League. That's not what I'm saying, but it certainly makes sense. It certainly makes sense. No, Bruno, this wouldn't be anything like the Joao Felix deal. This wouldn't be like that at all. Felix was purely signed to get rid of Conor Gallagher. That's why. That's why. That's why. That's why he was even here in the first place. Bro, Gittins 20 years old. He knows that he's not going to come into Chelsea and be a first team regular and a starter straight off the bat. He knows it doesn't run like that. He's fully aware. He's fully aware of that. He's fully aware of that. You know, and when you come to a big club, there's going to be competition for places. That's how this works. That's what happens here. You know, you have competition for places. You know, that's what happens. No, they never wanted him. Yeah, you can run that. Simons, Palmer, Neto. Simons, Palmer, Pedro. Simons, Palmer, Esteval. You know, there's so many There's so many. Now, Chelsea never really wanted Felix. We know that because we wanted Samu. We wanted Samu. That's who we really wanted. We wanted Omarodion. And then all of a sudden, he suddenly failed his medical. Oh, you know, can you believe it? Suddenly he's failed his medical. It's all bollocks, chap. All bollocks. Suddenly failed his medical. We know exactly what's gone on here. We know exactly what's gone on here, chap. We know exactly what's happened, guys. Oh, yeah, 100%. And there's going to be a lot of rotation this year. There'll be a lot of rotation this season, chat. Without a shadow of a doubt, there will be plenty of rotation. By the way, guys, we're 20 likes away from 150. Keep smashing the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Would really appreciate it. But let's run these likes up to over 150, chat. We're only 20 away. Should be light work, and keep smashing the subscribe button as well, guys. Road to 20k. Every new subscriber helps. But yeah, run these likes up to 150, chat. The only thing that worries me is that we will probably lose players like Pires and Quenda. No, look, I wouldn't be worried about that. I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't be worried about that. Not at this stage of proceedings. Definitely not. Yeah, it appears that way. It definitely appears that he will be doing that. It definitely seems that way. So it's gonna be It's going to be interesting to see what we do, because we either go for Simons, we try something audacious for Rodgers, we end up with no one, or we go with something a little bit obscure, chat. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, maybe we go for someone obscure. I don't think Malik Fofana is something that's going to happen now. I think we've got 2 signings in us this summer left. I think there's 2 signings in us for the first team, a backup left back, and then either a goalkeeper or a forward player. But if I had to guess, if I had to predict what we're going to do, it's a goalkeeper and it's a forward player. Oh, sorry, it's a left back, and a forward player. I think a goalkeeper is totally off the cards, chat. I think a goalkeeper is totally off the cards. Simons is a decent backup. It's decent, but I need Garnacho. No, brother. No Garnacho. Eze, it's all gone quiet. You know, there are a lot of links to Arsenal, but yeah, it's kind of gone quiet on that front with Eze. Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else there is, chat, on Eze. All gone very quiet. All gone very, very quiet. Not really sure what to say. Not really sure what to say on that one. But yeah, no Garnacho, chat. No, that's a big no for me. If it happens, we have to take it on the chin and we have to move. No, Donnarumma will sign a new contract at PSG. I'd be shocked if Donnarumma left. Hato for me needs to be the one that comes in. Hato for me needs to be the one that comes in. Just say thank you for following the boys. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, bro, you don't need to thank me. Yeah, it's always a pleasure following the boys. It's been a mad one this year. You know, from Stamford Bridge to Rocklaw to New York. We've done it all this season. We've done it all. We have done it all this season, chat. I disagree. I don't think Jackson's Chelsea career is over if he wants to be. If he wants it to be over. If he wants to leave, then it's done. Very simple. Be very simple. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's what I was going to look for. Let me have a look at that. Where's it said that? Because if that's the case, that makes the Eze thing a lot more difficult. So we'll see. Yeah, of course. We will be there. We will be there, chat. No doubt about it. We will absolutely be there for that. We'll be there for Palace, and we'll probably be there for the 2 pre-season games as well, because why not? Challenge, yes. I don't think we can win, no. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, I was about to bring this up. Let's bring this up in regards to Renato Veiga. Now, breaking, Atletico Madrid has made its second offer for Chelsea to Renato Veiga, 35 million euros. The clubs are in talks. This will gather pace, and Chelsea, I think, want 40 million euros package. This will get agreed, and this will get done. Veiga will go to Atletico Madrid. I've got no doubt about it whatsoever. Renato Veiga will be an Atletico Madrid player. We'll see. But yeah, I think that will happen. So yeah, look, 35, 40 million euros. We discussed this the other day, chat. Like that's decent money for Veiga, considering he cost 14 million euros 12 months ago. To triple your money, pretty much, or just under tripling your money on him, that's very, very good business. That's good business. But look, ultimately, he wants the player as a centre back, and we can't really offer that. We can't really offer that centre back position to him. We can't offer the centre back position, chat. So yeah, that's decent. I think we'll pay that money. That money will get paid. Let's see. I mean, look, Veiga would have been perfect for this squad in terms of what we're looking for, but he's not prepared to play that role that we want to give him. So we have to go and look. We have to go and look elsewhere, chat. We have to go and look elsewhere. Look, I think it'll be a very good move from Atletico Madrid. Champions League football, playing in La Liga. We'll play at a centre back. Sure, but that still doesn't get him in the team. That still doesn't get him in the team. Bro, Guehi's way better centre-back than Veiga is. Veiga's not going to go in and start at centre-back for Chelsea. No way. Well, apparently, yeah, supposedly talks have reopened with his agent. But again, there's nothing concrete in regards to a move just yet. It's interesting how like sort of transfers go through a lot of links. And then it goes really quiet. And then there seems to be a bit more noise. I mean, look, if Veiga was happy to play the backup left-back role, then there'd be no issue. He'd still be here, and he'd be part of the squad going forwards. I think they'd come back to Cobham like the week before the games against Leverkusen and Milan. That's when I think they come back the week before that. The week before that one, they will come back. Bro, we don't want 45 million euros. We'll get probably 40 million euros for him. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see on that. But yeah, this is the deal that obviously is going to move forwards, chat. It's clearly going to move forwards. It's one of them where you look at it and you're like, yeah, okay, it's good profit on a player. It's a shame that it didn't work out. Whatever. Whatever. No news on Wesley Fofana. He should be fit for the start of the season, and then we move from there. Who will replace Veiga? Hopefully, Joel Hato. But I don't know for certain. I'm hoping Hato, but we don't know. Chat, we're 5 likes away from 150. Smash that like button. Let's get this up over 150. Maybe we can push towards 200, guys. So yeah, keep smashing the likes. And yeah, please subscribe as well if you are new round here. That would be greatly appreciated, people. So yeah, keep running these likes up, chat. Run them up. How can Veiga play left back with this? Bro, he's played there. It would be decent. You know, it wouldn't be a complete disaster as a backup option. Some potential, yes, I would agree. But yeah, look, with Veiga going, we need to we need to see. We need to see, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with Achimpong. I've got no idea. But if he's not going to play at right back, he's not going to play at centre back. Do you try him at left back? I don't know if that's really that beneficial. To be perfectly honest, is that really beneficial? I don't see how that's beneficial. I don't really see that being beneficial, guys. I don't think so, no. I'm not sure. I think we got to look at it as maybe try and not look at it as a simple sort of home or like first or second choice. I think it'll just be a squad. It'll be a squad player. But it is hard to find someone who basically, yeah, you're going to sit on the bench most weeks, but then in domestic cup games and some league games or whatever, you'll be yeah, you'll be called upon. Look, it's a tough sell. That it is a tough sell, and I don't really know how you go about it. I don't really know how you go about it. It's really tricky. Really tricky, chat. It's just a tough sell because it's very difficult to tell a player that you're not really going to potentially play that much. We can contend. Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I think we can absolutely contend, but whether that's going to be enough, I don't think. I don't think it can materialize into a challenge. No, but there will be someone. There will be someone. We won't have an issue with that, but who that someone's going to be, I don't know right now, guys. So yeah, Veiga and Atletico Madrid looks like that is getting closer. Expect that to be done. I wouldn't be Odyssey chat. I wouldn't be surprised if that was done this week. I wouldn't be surprised if it was done this week. Wouldn't be surprised at all. We have to see. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. Yeah, and now Fabrizio's just retweeted his Atletico Madrid and Veiga tweet from yesterday. So yeah, that's gathering momentum. That'll be done. I think that'll be done this week, chat. That'll be done this week. Bro, we can't be using Gusto on the left. That's no good. We need to stop with this playing players out of position. Just get me a specialist left back. I mean that's not asking much, is it? That can't be that difficult. That really can't be that difficult. Surely. I mean, come on, guys. Go and sign us a backup left back. Really can't be that tough. I mean, now Hato won't be a centre back. Hato would be coming in to play left back. Yeah, sure, he can play centre back if needed, but bring this brother in and play him as a left back, as he should be. Yeah, bro. Yield is let's just, but that will have to stay in the dreams. That will have to stay in the dreams because there's no chance of Yield is coming. I agree on that. I agree on that. Look, by the way, I think we might make an approach for Rodgers later in the window. We might try something, but yeah, there's no chance. Actually, no. I want to refrain from saying no chance because there's always a chance in football. Minimal opportunity of this happening. Very minimal. Yeah, very minimal. I personally don't see it happening. Oh, 100%, mate. 100% he does. 100% he deserves praise for that. No, I'll be honest, bro. I don't think there's any way back. I don't think there's any way back for Ben Chilwell. I don't think there's any way back for Chile. I think that ship has sailed. That is done. That is done. We have to see. We'll have to see, guys. We'll have to see. But yeah, no, I think that's sure. But Grealish was a release clause. Grealish was a release clause. Rodgers, as far as I'm aware, or as far as we're aware, there is no release clause. He's happy at Villa. Bro, Veiga will go for probably a 40 million euro package. A 40 million euro package, I think Veiga will go for. I think that's pretty obvious. Guys, keep smashing the likes. Let's get this up to 200. Smash that like button, chat. Keep it stepping. I don't know why it's so big. I don't know why it's so big. It's obviously not as good as the last one, but yeah, it is what it is. It's going to be on the shirts for the next 4 years. So yeah, that's how we're going to be rolling, chap. That's how we're going to be rolling. Get the badge in. Good move. Good move. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. There's no way Chelsea would have spent that money. That's for sure. But yeah, let's see. Let's see on it. Will Achimpong go on loan? I don't know. If he's not going to play, he didn't play much at the Club World Cup, then yeah. Then yeah. We'll have to see. But no, I think he should go on loan if he's not going to play. I mean, the reality is he should be playing at Chelsea, but it doesn't appear to be the case. So if that's not going to happen, then a loan is the best option. I mean, look, Rodgers would be great, but I think it's almost impossible to do. So yeah, I think go Simons. Bro, this Madrid and Enzo stuff always comes around. He's not leaving Chelsea. He's not going to Real Madrid. Yeah, it's a load of nonsense, basically. He's done well. He's done well. Igor Jesus, I'm pretty sure he's at Igor Jesus at Nottingham Forest. Where's the third kit? That should be out in the next couple of weeks. That always takes a bit longer to come out than the home and aways. But yeah, that should be out within the next couple of weeks, I would have thought. Yeah, within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I reckon. I don't think we'll sell him, but if Chelsea aren't going to play him, then he needs to go out and play somewhere. No, does that not make sense? He needs to go out and play somewhere. He's got to go and play somewhere. Has to. And look, if it was Crystal Palace or that's been mentioned previously, or if it's somewhere else, needs to play. Don't bring Garnacho to Chelsea. No, I absolutely hear you on that one, bro. I hear you on that one. Let's see if there's any other transfer news coming through. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it. Yep. Hey, yeah, I agree. I agree. This Jarrell Hato thing needs to happen. Needs to happen. Need to move it on. Need to move him on. Sorry. Need to get it done. The only injury-prone defender is Fofana because Chalobah's not, Colwell's not, Tosin's not. All right, Badia Shield does pick a few injuries up. I don't think it's mad to send Sarr on loan. He wasn't going to get the minutes that he needs. Look, if he comes, he might do all right. I don't know. Just for me personally, I don't think what he brings with him in terms of off the pitch stuff is actually outweighed by what he offers on it. That's all it is for me. No, the Enzo to Madrid thing is not real. No, it's those stories come around all the time, and it's just bullshit, basically. It's just bollocks. There we are. There we are, chat. No, because the whole reason Chelsea kind of pivoted away from Sesko was because they believed that because they went for Delap and they feel that Delap is playing in a similar mold. So yeah, and particularly at the price as well. I don't see Sesko at that price happening. I don't see it, chat. I definitely don't see it happening at that price. They have been. I don't know if that interest is still there now, but there has been past interest, yes. No, of course, and I've always said, look, I'll support any player that comes through the door, like everyone should. But I'm not. I wouldn't be pro this Garnacho signing at all. I mean, not happy, no. But if it's going to be that, then there's not much we can do about it. You know, there's not much we can do about it, unfortunately. I think we need a goalkeeper, a left back, and an attacking player. I don't think we need a centre back. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, look, if you're going to sign a centre back, go and get Marc Guehi. How likely that is and how possible that is, I don't know. But that for me is one that makes the most sense. So we will see. So yeah, let's wait and see, chat. If Sanchez stays, he stays. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to hope that he somehow miraculously becomes a really good goalkeeper and stops making fucking mistakes. That's what we'll have to do, guys. But how likely that is to happen, I think we all know that's pretty slim. I think we all know that's pretty slim. No, there's no news on a goalkeeper at all. No news. Yes, I would absolutely agree with you on that one. Absolutely agree with you on that one. Guys, keep smashing up the likes. We're 25 away from 200. Let's get there. Smash up that like button, chat, and keep subscribing if you're new around here as well. Yeah, I don't understand the whole goalkeeping situation. It is what it is, though, isn't it? It's just, yeah, it hasn't worked out. Well, I say it hasn't worked out. It's just not what we're doing. It's just not what we're doing. Yeah. No news on Sterling. I mean, bro, West Ham aren't buying Manyan. Manyan don't play for Leicester. But Mads Hermansen would be an interesting one. Mads Hermansen is clearly available. Yeah, of course, any player can potentially move. Look, Diogo Costa could move. Joao Felix news, reportedly still in negotiations with Benfica. I'm not really too sure what's going on there. But yeah, reportedly in negotiations with Benfica. We'll have to see. Don't you think if we go, bro, Brantford signed a new contract, so he's not coming. Brantford signed a new deal. He's obviously not coming. No, this idea that people think that if you're not tall, you're therefore shit in the air. That just isn't true. That just isn't true. You know, being good in the air is about timing as well. You know, Tosin's pretty tall. He's not that great in the air. You know, you don't have to be tall to be good in the air. I'm not really sure where that's come from, guys. I don't really know where that's come from. Yeah, look, I would expect probably all of those will end up being loans. Yeah, it is. We are going to struggle to get rid of them. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah, it could well do. And maybe we're going to have to learn the hard way on this one. Maybe we'll have to learn the hard way on this one. Well, at the moment, it appears so. I don't know if that's going to be the case come the start of the season. Bro, he's not. I wouldn't say Tosin's not brilliant in the air. That's just simply not true. He's not brilliant in the air. The report from Guehi, I think it was Simon Phillips where I saw it. Bro, Sterling didn't want to go to Saudi. I hope we get Morg to be an amazing signing. We won't. He's not amazing in the air. Tosin's a good player and he's done well. He's not amazing in the air. He's solid. He's not amazing in the air. Oh, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Xavi Simons. Bosch. Let's bring this up, chat. Here we are. Chelsea have a serious interest in Xavi Simons. Understand talks between the club and the players' camp have already started. No club-to-club talks yet. First, it needs to be checked whether an agreement can be reached between Chelsea and the player. Chelsea are currently the most concrete option. Arsenal are monitoring the situation. Bayern are not in the race so far, but Max Erbel is informed about everything. Xavi wants to leave Leipzig. Bosh. This is what we fucking do, people. This is what we do. This is what we do, guys. Xavi Simons. I mean, look, this is just one report from Sky Germany, but when it comes to the Bundesliga, they're pretty good. I mean, this, as I said earlier, guys, this is one that looks like it could develop pretty quickly. No, look, if someone's amazing in the air, then that for me, if someone's amazing at something, they're one of the very best. Tosin is good in the air. You know, he's not amazing. Is the point that I was making. Well, let's just rein it in slightly, chat, because you know that deal's hasn't happened yet. But Xavi Simons would be a very good signing. Think Simons would do well. I agree. Yeah, Simons would be great. Of course, he suits the system. He absolutely does. KDB. Do you mean KDH? Dewsbury Hall maybe leaves as Simons comes in. I've got no idea. I think we mean goodbye to Nkunku. Yeah, guys, get these final 9 likes in for the 200. Smash the like button, chat. Yeah, no, this Simons deal would be big if it could happen. Obviously, we're looking to reach an agreement with the player. Let's hope that he prefers Chelsea to Arsenal. But the wheels are in motion. The wheels are in motion, chat. And this is now starting to get serious. This is now starting to get serious. Bro, Gittins at 20 years of age knows he's not going to be first choice. Knows he's not going to be first choice, guys. No, I don't think so. Bro, you can't blame one player for Leipzig being shit. Like, is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? Surely not. Probably Rodgers, but Simons is the attainable one. And I would be a big fan of Xavi Simons coming to Chelsea. A big fan. I would be a big fan. So we'll have to see. But yeah, that's moving forward. That's moving forward, and I think this will start to gather pace. I've got no idea. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't, chat. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Bro, Simons does start for us. He'll start on the left-hand side. and he definitely does improve us. Probably in the next few weeks, I'd imagine. In the next few weeks, I would expect him to be announced. I expect him to be announced in the next few weeks. So we'll see. But yeah, that's promising now. That's developing. That's moving forwards. Bro, how in so okay, so who starts instead of Xavi Simons then? You know, he does. I mean, I don't know why you're questioning Xavi Simons starting for Chelsea. He starts. Potentially yes. Potentially yes. Bro, I'm not sure if you were watching the Club World Cup, but we didn't really play with two touchline wingers throughout that competition. You know, we more had players drifted in playing as inside forwards. You know, I think there's been an adaptation over the summer in that competition and hopefully going into next season. Simons starts for Chelsea. He'll play on that left and he'll cut inside. You know, he'll provide an option at number 10 as a rotation if needed. He can play a bit. Cool. All right, mate. Well, you enjoy your day. You enjoy your day, and you sort of just sit there and do whatever you do, live in your delusional world. Because Simons will start games for Chelsea. So yeah. Anyway, enjoy your day, mate. But yeah, this is gathering momentum. This is gathering momentum. And this is one where I look at it and I think, yeah, this is going to be looking good. Exciting times. Exciting times. So let's wait and see how this one develops, chat. Let's wait and see how this one develops. Bro, you're just moving the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts. You must think I'm some sort of idiot. No one said that Simons is world class. You're trying to say he's not going to start games for Chelsea. But anyway, whatever. I'm not going to engage in this nonsense. I reckon around probably similar to Pedro, probably around that £55 million mark, I reckon. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, they are. I think they're trolling some of the time. Any update on Hato? No, there's not. But yeah, anyway, chat. I'm gonna round this one out here. Got to crack on with the rest of the day. I will catch you lot tomorrow with all the latest Chelsea news. Catch you lot tomorrow. Let's wait and see what happens in the next 24 hours. Let's see if we get any serious developments on the Xavi Simons front. But yeah, chat, big up for the support today. Smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new round here. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you lot again tomorrow, unless there's any major news. But yeah, big love for the support. Smash the like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Up the Chelsea, and I'm out. Peace.